From best attraction to worst ride and everything in between, let's rank them at Universal Studios Florida. Hey everybody, Rick here with another tier list video, this time ranking all the best rides and attractions at Universal Studios Florida. Let's not wait any longer, let's get right into it. Now we're going to start off, we're going to place Rip Ride Rocket on our tier list. Rip Ride Rocket is the fastest ride at Studios at 65 miles per hour. I sometimes get in trouble when I say that because people are trying to lump in both parks together, Islands of Adventure and Studios, and they'll try to correct me and say, no, Rip Ride Rocket is not the fastest ride at Universal. Well, it is at Universal Studios Florida at 65 miles per hour. At the other park, Islands of Adventure, obviously the Velocicoaster is faster, as well as the Hulk, faster than Rip Ride Rocket. But I digress. Let's place this on our tier list. Rip Ride Rocket has no inversions. The neat thing about this attraction is that you can pick your own music. There's a playlist. You can pick your own music that you want to ride to. However, one thing about Rip Ride Rocket, it is getting a bit older and the ride's getting a little rough. It's a little rough ride right now. So I think a good place to put Rip Ride Rocket to kick off the tier list would be as a B tier attraction. I'm going to get some spicy comments in the comment section. That's okay, just as long as everyone is respectful. What to place next on our tier list? Let's take it down a notch. Let's go to the Twirl and Hurl, which is located in Springfield, or technically Krusty Land. It's a child's ride, a kid ride, very similar to the Dumbo ride at Disney. Oh boy, I am an adult. I may be immature, but I am a grown-up, so a lot of these kiddie rides are not going to rank high on my list. We're going to put the Twirl and Hurl on our C tier. Moving on, let's stick with another kid ride. Let's go with Woody Woodpecker Nut House Coaster. It's a kid coaster. It lasts maybe 30 seconds. And as I said, I am a grown-up. Kids rides are not going to rate so high on my tier list. A 6-year-old might place this ride higher, but I'm going to put it in the D tier. Let's take things up a notch and talk about Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. This is a kind of a hybrid coaster. And when I say hybrid, I don't mean wood, part steel. I mean it's a hybrid in that it's part roller coaster, part ride simulation. So a lot of screens will be involved with this attraction, but it does move along a roller coaster track. It does have a very intense drop at the beginning. It does spins and launches, but with the screens that they use, it does allow for an immersive storytelling experience. But with all that being said, where are we going to place it on our list? To me, Gringotts is an A-lister. Goes on that A line of our tier list. Now, some of you might think that's an S tier. You might want it above that. Let me know in the comment section below. But for me, that's an easy placement as an A tier attraction. My favorite ride at Universal Studios Florida is Revenge of the Mummy. Currently closed as I'm recording this video, but nonetheless, my favorite ride at Studios. It's an indoor roller coaster. It's a launch coaster. Top speed is only about 40 miles per hour, but it does have a few cool, like, lose your stomach moments and airtime moments. It is a super fun ride. I love indoor coasters. I wish we had more of them. I've already said it's my favorite ride, so it's not really that big of a deal for me to place it in the S tier. You're not shocked, are you, that my favorite ride goes in the top S tier? I hope you're not shocked at that. So it looks like every tier has something on it right now. Our highest rated ride, the S tier, the Mummy. A tier, we go to Gringotts. B tier would be Rip Ride Rocket. C, the Twirl and Hurl. And D, the Woody Woodpecker Nut House Coaster. I know I said the comment section might get spicy, but you guys can't argue with that, can you? I mean, that seems pretty logical to me. Moving on, we need to place the Transformers attraction. Now, the Transformers attraction is very similar to the Spider-Man ride that they have at Islands of Adventure. This is a ride. Universal used to have a slogan, "Ride the Movies." That was kind of one of their taglines in their commercials, to ride the movies. The Transformers attraction really does fit that tagline of riding the movies. When you go on that attraction, you are riding a Transformers movie. I'm going to take the Transformers here. That's going to go in A. That is an A tier attraction, in my opinion. Do I like it better than Gringotts? I don't think so. Right now, here's the thing. Now, obviously, the S tier is better. You know, the top tiers are better than the lower tiers. And then when we get inside the tiers, like if I have 5 things in tier B, then we can rank those. We can say which B level ride is better than the others. We'll get to that in a moment. But for now, I'm going to put Transformers in A, and we'll leave it behind. We will rate it behind Gringotts. Again, feel free to use that comment section. Just be nice. Just express your thoughts nicely. Let's go on to another one of my favorite rides at Studios is the MIB attraction ride, the MIB Alien Attack ride. It is very rewritable because it's a kind of a blaster game. You get a score for shooting aliens. This ride is a lot more fun when you know how to score well, when you know some tips and tricks. I do have some videos on how to score well on MIB. For years, I wasn't so crazy about MIB until I studied up on it, on how to score better. So once you have an idea of what to do, then you can rewrite it. It's very rewritable, trying to improve your score. So over time, this ride has kind of improved in my rankings once I learned more about it and how to score well. Clearly, I think, well, maybe not so clearly. I shouldn't say clearly. But to me, I'm going to place that in the B level tier. Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, is the next ride we're going to look at. Where are we going to place this on the tier list? It does have one of the best cues for any attraction. The ragtime gals, when they're in there singing, they are very entertaining. The attraction itself, when you get into the theater and you're experiencing the Race Through New York, is kind of meh. I don't know. It is a good attraction to get a break from the Florida heat. I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement or a slight, but we're going to take the Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon. We're going to place that in our C tier, and I think I'll just leave it where it is. I'll leave it rated behind the Twirl and Hurl. Let's talk about a show now. The Animal Actors on Location. This is a show that features some of the most talented animal actors from movies and television. Birds, dogs, cats, and more. Now, it is kind of in an outdoor setting. The theater, it's in a theater type setting, but it's not an indoor enclosed air-conditioned theater. That's one thing going against it. And all my years of going to Universal, it's not like a must-do for me. In fact, I've only been to it a couple times, and I just don't have a strong attraction to it, even though I love animals. The thing is, I love animals. I love dogs, but going to Universal Studios Florida, it is not a must-do, in my opinion. I hardly ever do it. That's going down here. That's a D. That's a D tier attraction. I'd rather come home and pet my own dog. Okay. Moving on to an attraction that I often forget is an attraction and not just a mode of transportation between the two parks, and that would be the Hogwarts Express, which I forgot to do or to include in my IOA tier list video, and you guys did remind me of that in the comment section, and I was wrong not to include it, but I have it here, so it's not totally forgotten. So when you take the Hogwarts Express from Diagon Alley or London to Hogsmeade, you'll have certain scenes that play along a screen. And then when you take it the other way, you have different scenes. And for me, the big thing about this attraction, it's so clever to have kind of a mode of transportation between the two parks be an actual attraction. That is very clever on Universal's part. It's much better than anything else you'll find like at Disney. Like the monorail is cool, but it is clearly just a mode of transportation, not an attraction, whereas Hogwarts Express is both. So I think for that kind of ingenuity, let's place it in the B tier. Why not? If you're a Harry Potter fan, I mean, it's definitely a B or higher to you guys, but for the general population, I think it's a good solid attraction. Plus, it'll get you from one park to the other. It's time to talk about the Simpsons Ride. This one might get me in trouble. I'm not exactly sure how to approach this one. This did make my Rick's Top 6 list of rides to make you sick. So I'm going to try not to have that influence me too much. But the Simpsons Ride is a 2D ride. It is not 3D. You are in a ride vehicle that has a lot of movement along with that screen. It has a very vocal fan base, as I mentioned, but it does make me sick. But if you are a fan of The Simpsons, it is a tremendous theme park experience to go on this ride. But where am I going to place this on my tier list? I kind of want to put it in C. I'm kind of afraid of the vocal Simpsons fans who might come after me for that. It's close between a C and a B. We'll place it in B now. We will keep it behind. We'll keep it behind Hogwarts. Okay, it's in B, but it's behind Hogwarts Express. Okay, the E.T. attraction, a classic ride, the only original opening day ride left at Universal Studios Florida. I hope it stays there forever, but I have to place it on the list. Oh, what am I going to do with this one? E.T. I mean, to me, it's classic in the same sense as the ride at Disney. Oh, the Small World ride. It's kind of in that vein. I'm going to put it in C just for kind of nostalgic reasons. I don't think it's a B ride, but if you want that classic movie feel, a classic Universal Studios Florida experience, you need to do it. The ride itself, even from the get-go, when it was a fresh, brand new ride, I thought the concept of the ride was kind of hokey. But it's a child's ride. It's a family ride. Who doesn't love E.T.? I'm going to put it in C. I know like my E.T. fans might come out and not appreciate that placement, but it's C for me. The Bourne Stuntacular. Now, this is a cutting-edge, high-tech fusion of stagecraft and film. It's a mixture of screen effects and practical effects. As far as a stunt show is concerned, it's a very high-tech stunt show. Kind of innovated things. The way they meld the on-stage practical effects to the stuff that's happening on this big, huge screen is amazing. I'm going to take Bourne. I'm going to place it in the B tier. It's a good show. Now, for me, usually stage shows don't rate as high as like a thrill ride, but it's a good show. It's a B tier to me. Again, let me know in the comment section below if you think I have it too high. I think that's going to be the main argument for Bourne Stuntacular, is that I have it placed a level too high. But let's stick with another show, the Horror and Makeup Show. It's a fun show. The format has pretty much stayed very similar over the years. It doesn't change up that much. They will update the jokes for current events. But it's a fun show, especially for first-timers. It gives you part of a history lesson on Universal Studios and horror movies and how they did the effects. But to be honest, it's more of a comedy show. That show is more of a comedy show. You know, it's on there. It's in the same tier as Bourne Stuntacular, those two shows. as far as the shows we looked at so far, yeah, those are the best two shows. Way better than like the Animal Actor show. Oh, let's just stick with another show. The Ollivander's Wand Show. I'm looking at it here right now. This is a show where it kind of, in the movies, they say the wand picks the wizard. And you go to Ollivander's with a group of people, and the little, the professor, I don't know if it's the professor, but the wand salesman guy, not exactly sure what his title is. He'll pick one person out of the crowd, and the wand will choose them. Now, that happened to us once when my daughter Caitlin was little. We went in with a large group, and they chose her. And when that happens, it is a very magical experience. But we've also gone to the show where we just watched other people's kid or another person be picked. It's not quite as entertaining that way. So for me, Ollivander's is a D-level attraction. Now, it's very magical if someone in your party is picked by the wand. Otherwise, it's D. Now, if you're picked, you're lucky. It's up there. It's an A or a B attraction. But who knows if your child or someone in your party is going to be picked. And we are down to our last two attractions. I know you guys are dying to see what I do with Fast and Furious, but we're going to place the Minions attraction on the tier list next. Now, the Minions, when it started out, was a 3D attraction. They knocked it down to 2D. Again, the younger audience may enjoy this attraction more than me. I had a hard time with it when it was 3D. I think it was better as a 3D attraction, but now that it's only a 2D attraction, I'm placing it in the C tier. And we have come down to our last placement. We have one last attraction, Fast and Furious Supercharged. Now, do we just take this straight up to the S tier? Do we just put it right there on the S tier? I think you guys know me better than that. The Slow and Curious attraction. I'm sorry. It's not Slow and Curious. It's Fast and Furious. That is going on the D tier. And in fact, let me analyze now where things are within the tier. We only had one S tier attraction. That is the Mummy for me. The A tier, Gringotts and Transformers. I like the placement there. I'm going to rate Gringotts better than Transformers. Our largest tier with what is it? 6 attractions is the B tier. So a lot of, this good, solid offerings at studios. Islands of Adventure is the better park for rides, in my opinion. And I should mention, with studios, I'm not talking about like the street shows, because for me, studios is my favorite park to walk around, because you get all the street shows. You'll get the Blues Brothers. You'll see Maryland. You'll see the Beat Builders, things like that happening. Those are not major attractions, so they are not on this list. But we can see by looking at the tier, a lot of, 6 on the B level is pretty good. That park is a solid offering for rides. I am inclined, I'm not going to do it, but I kind of want to put MIB in front of Rip Ride Rocket. I know the Simpsons fans probably, if they're not happy with the Simpsons being on the B tier, they're definitely not happy with it being rated behind Hogwarts Express, but I'm going to keep it. Oh, that's tough too. I think I'm going to keep the B tier as it is. Between the shows that I have on the B tier, Bourne and the Horror Makeup Show, those are very close as well, but I'm going to leave that tier rated the same. The C tier, we have, you know what? I have to move E.T. ahead of Jimmy Fallon for sure. But personally, I like Jimmy Fallon better than the Minions attraction, so we'll leave that the same. Our lowest level tier, now we have the Kiddie Ride, Woody Woodpecker, Animal Actors, Ollivander's Wand Show, and Fast and Furious. You know what? Are we going to move Fast and Furious? Is it the worst? Because this is what this is saying. If I leave this as it is, I am saying the best ride or attraction at studios is the Mummy, and the worst is Fast and Furious. You know what? We are done with our tier list. the worst attraction at Universal Studios Florida is Fast and Furious, and the best is The Mummy, and we got everything in between. Please take a moment, analyze this, screenshot it, and express your thoughts on the tier list in the comment section below. Again, I do expect it to get spicy, a little bit spicy, just not nasty. Have fun with it. Let me know what you think of my tier list. Let me know of some things you would change, how you would move things around. Have fun with that. I'll leave a link to this where you can go and like do your own. So check the description box for that. You can actually use my little tier list that I created here and do your own. And if you do that, take a screenshot, send it to me. I'd appreciate that. But also, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, don't miss the magic. Don't miss the fun. Thanks for watching Rix Flix. And now, click that subscribe button.
His name is Rick. Her name is Nikki. Showing how theme parks are done. Don't miss the magic. Don't miss the fun. Hit subscribe.